In this video, let's study trigonometry together. In trigonometry, what we are really studying is the relationship between the angles and sides of a triangle. What do I mean? We all know triangle, and basically we have different types of triangle, but what we will be looking at in this video is right angle triangle. And what do we mean by right angle triangle? It is a certain triangle in which one of the angles is 90 degree, and this is the angle we are having here. So one of the angles is 90 degree. That is what we have here is I can write it like this, and I can write it as this. There is no much difference. It's still the same thing. Now moving on. So in trigonometry, we are studying how to work with this shape. We have three sides. This side, we have this side, we have this side, we have this side, and each of the sides has its own name. So we'll be looking at them one after the other. So let's go. So let's start by bringing the concept of this concept. It is very important we start with this concept. Let me clean this. Let's start with this concept so that you will understand it, and whenever you are given a question on it, you'll be able to solve it confidently. Now we are dealing with a right angle triangle. Now let me call this theta. This is right angle. Now this is my angle. I have an angle here. My angle is facing here. Where my angle is facing is called opposite. If you look at these three sides now, the longest side is this side. The longest side is called hypotenuse, and the last one here is called the adjacent. Let me just call it ADJ, adjacent. So we have opposite, we have hypotenuse. So don't forget that where my angle is facing is refers to as opposite side. Now let me draw another one now. So you can pause the video to tell me where is my hypotenuse, and then where is my adjacent, the opposite as well. So let's say I put the angle here now. Let's say I put the angle here. If I put the angle here, now I want you to fill these sides. Which of them is the opposite, which of them is the adjacent, and which of them is the hypotenuse. Now without wasting time, where my angle is facing is called opposite, and the longest side here is called hypotenuse, while the last one is called adjacent. Now if this is understood, that means we can now move on to relate these sides to the angle, and that is where we come up with what we call SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. So you have SOHCAHTOA. Now you have to know that we have different trigonometric ratios, and they are 6, but the basic ones are sine, cosine, and tangent. Now what is the meaning of this thing I just wrote? Don't forget, like I said earlier, this O is opposite, S is sine, H is hypotenuse. I will explain each of them. C is cos, A is adjacent, H is hypotenuse, T is tan, O is opposite, and A is adjacent. Now, moving on without wasting time, so we have sine theta to be opposite over hypotenuse according to what we have here, this over this, followed by cos theta. So cos theta is, losing this, so cos theta, we have this and this, we have adjacent over hypotenuse, and the last one is tan theta. Tan theta is, what is tan theta? You use this, opposite over adjacent, opposite over adjacent. And from what I just explained now, you can easily see that tan theta is same thing as sine theta over cos theta, because sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse, opposite over hypotenuse, and cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. So if you bring the two together, we have opposite over hypotenuse multiplied by hypotenuse over adjacent. So this you can see that from here, tan theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. So always put it at the back of your mind that you can also relate sine theta, cos theta, and tan theta together. You can relate them together as well. This is very, very simple. This is very, very simple. Now, is this all the trigonometric ratios that we have? No. We also have other trigonometric ratios as well. And the beautiful thing is that they are all coming from the basic trigonometric ratios that we know. So let's go. So the next trigonometric ratio we'll be discussing now is from sine theta. And what is that? That is cosec theta. Cosec theta. That is, we have 1 over sine theta. And 1 over sine theta is what? Cosec theta. Some textbook can write it as this, cosec theta. It's still the same thing. And how will you remember this? There is a code I normally use to remember this. Just count it. You have 1, 2, 3. Now, where we have 3 now, the letter we have here is x. That means it stands for sine. You only have x here, so that's 1 over sine. 1 over sine theta. So 1 over sine theta is cosec theta. Now, moving on from cos as well. From cos theta, what do we have? From cos theta, we have 1 over cos theta as well, and that is called sec theta. Sec theta. So for you to remember it as well, we have 1, 2, 3. So 3 is where we have our C. So we call it, so we have C here. That means that it is from cos. So 1 over cos theta is sec theta. So the next one we'll be looking at is tan theta. Tan theta. That is what we can derive from tan theta is 1 over tan theta. And what is 1 over tan theta? That is cot theta. So we check it as well using the same concept. 1, 2, 3 t. So whenever you see this, it's telling you that it is from tan, and it is 1 over tan theta. This is very simple. Now, since we have been able to, that means generally we have 6 trigonometric ratios. So we have 6 trigonometric ratios. You have to put that at the back of your mind. We have 6 trigonometric ratios. So we have sine theta, we have sine theta, we have sine theta, we have cos theta, we have tan theta, we have cosec theta from sine, we have sec theta from cos, and we also have cot theta from tan theta. So these are the 6 trigonometric ratios. Now, if you are given any question on this trigonometric ratio, once you are given any of the trigonometric ratio, you can get the others. What do I mean? Let's take a look at this example. Let's say you are given this example. You are given that sine theta is equal to 1 over 2. Find the other trigonometric ratios. So if you are given that sine theta is 1 over 2, find the other trigonometric ratios. I will explain the idea of the quadrant, but I want you to get this basis first. I will explain the idea of the quadrant, because whenever you are given a certain angle, you will be required to find them with respect to their quadrant. I will do that. So let's do this so that you'll be able to understand it deeply. You can see how it is very important for you to subscribe to this channel, so that you can have access to all these kind of content, so that you can understand mathematics and handle it confidently. So let's go without wasting time. Now, given that sine theta is 1 over 2, so what are you required? So sine theta is 1 over 2. Don't stress yourself. Don't forget, from the idea of SOHCAHTOA, sine theta is what? So, opposite over hypotenuse. That is sine theta. Now, what are you going to do without wasting time? You draw your right angle triangle. So where is the opposite? This is my angle. Where my angle is called the opposite, my angle is face is called this. That is 1, and my hypotenuse is 2 as well. This is hypotenuse. That means the only thing I don't know here is the adjacent. And fortunately for me, or fortunately for us, we have that the Pythagoras theorem, because one of those theorems you also have to know is Pythagoras theorem. And what is Pythagoras theorem? Let me just quickly brief that. Pythagoras theorem, you can quickly explain that. It's very, very simple. So let's assume you have this. Pythagoras theorem is basically used for right angle triangle. Let's call this C, let's call this A, and let's call this B. So how can you now relate A, B, C together? The theorem relating them together is called Pythagoras. So you have C square to be equal to A square plus B square. So that's called Pythagoras theorem. So you have to master that as well. So C square equal to A square. And now looking at what we have here now, C square, this C, this is A and this is B. That means we have let me change this. That means we have 2 square to be equal to 1 square plus B square. So what are we having like that? We have 4 is equal to 1 plus B square. And what is that? So we have B square to be equal to 3. So B is what? Root 3. B is root 3. Even though we are expecting plus or minus B, but for now, let's just stick to B is equal to root 3. I will explain everything when we get to quadrants, but you have to get this basis first. Now, B is root 3. B is root 3. So since B is root 3, that means we can easily find the other trigonometric ratios. So let's draw it back. So this is 2, this is 1, and this is root 3. Good. So we are given that sin theta is 1 over 2. So don't forget SOHCAHTOA. Let me write it here so that we can use that. SOHCAHTOA. So from here now, cos theta is, so this is opposite. This is opposite where my angle is facing. This is hypotenuse and this is adjacent. So we have sin theta to be 1 over 2. We have cos theta. Cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. That is root 3 over 2. That is cos theta. Also, we have tan theta as well. Tan theta is opposite over adjacent. That is 1 over root 3. You can see that. Now, from sin theta, we can get cosec theta, because cosec theta is 1 over sin theta. And what is that? 1 over 1 over 2, and that's what? 2 over 1, which is 2. Brilliant. Hope you are following. Please subscribe to the channel for you to enjoy more of this. Also, we have from cos, we can have sec theta as well. Sec theta is equal to 1 over cos theta, and that is 1 over root 3 over 2, and that's what? 2 over root 3. That is 2 over root 3, and 2 over root 3 is sec theta. Moving on, cot theta as well. Cos theta, we have 1 over tan theta. 1 over tan theta, and 1 over tan theta is same thing as 1 over, what's tan theta? Tan theta is 1 over root 3. 1 over root 3, and that is root 3 over 1, which is root 3. You can see that from just one sin theta given to us, we're able to find cos theta, tan theta, cosec theta, sec theta, cos theta. So now, from this video now, that means if you are given tan theta, if you are given cos theta, just use the idea of the Pythagoras theorem by using the right angle triangle. You can get the other side. Then with that, you can get other trigonometric ratios. Now, let me now move on to explain the concept of quadrant, because we need the quadrant to be able to do this thing effectively. Now let's go. We have 4 quadrants. we have 4 quadrants. Let me put it at the middle. We have 4 quadrants. We have 4 quadrants. So this is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. So what are they all about? We have a 0 here, we have a 0, we have a 0, we have 90 degree, 0 degree, this is 180 degree, this is 270 degree, and this is 360 degree. Now in the first quadrant, I said our basic trigonometric ratio, sine, cos, and tan. In the first quadrant, they are all positive, so we use A for them, all. In the second quadrant, only sine is positive, so we use S for that. In the third quadrant, only tan is positive, we use T for that. And in the last quadrant, only cos is positive, we use C for that. So let me break it down for you. So here now, in the first quadrant, what we have in the first quadrant is that sine theta is positive, cos theta is positive, and tan theta is positive. That is the first quadrant. The second quadrant, where you have sine theta, we have sine theta only to be positive, we have cos theta to be negative, and we have tan theta to be negative. Now in the third quadrant, we have sine theta to be negative because we have T. It means that only tan is positive. We have cos theta to be negative, and we have tan theta to be positive. Now in the last quadrant, only cos is positive, so we have sine theta to be negative, tan theta to be negative, we have tan theta to be negative, and we have only cos theta to be positive. So that means all those letters we are writing, just to connect them. So this is all is positive here, and here only sine is positive, only sine theta is positive. So we connect this to this one, sine theta is positive. Here only tan theta is positive, and here only cos theta is positive. You can see how we are connecting those letters to them. Now, how are we now going to know if what we are given is first quadrant or the second quadrant or those quadrants? For the first quadrant, it is written as this. For the first quadrant, the first quadrant is always between 0 and 90 degree. The second quadrant, and if you look at what we have here, this is 0 to 90, that's first quadrant. The second quadrant is between 90 degrees towards 180 degree. That is the second quadrant. And the third quadrant is between 180 degree to 270 degree. That's the third quadrant. And the fourth quadrant is between 270 degree to 360 degree. So anytime you are given any question and it is written in the question that you are focusing on, on the fourth quadrant or third quadrant, you should know that the angle, you should try as much as possible to know where you are dealing with. Now let's check an example. Let's check an example. Let's check an example together.